What's up, guys? Today we're going to be looking at the changes for the QCU. So in my QCU Pulsar H video, I did mention that there are some changes and there's a couple of upgrades. They have made some changes to the Hopup unit and it makes life a little bit easier. So I'm going to break this down just now and we're going to go through and I'm going to show you very quickly what the upgraded changes are for the newer version of the Hopup unit.
Nice.
We'll do a side-by-side comparison and you can see what the big difference and changes are between the two. All right, here we have the two uppers. Let's get these stripped down and then we can look at the differences between the two Hopup units. So there are some slight differences and the improvements are pretty big. I think they are well worth it and I think they've done a good job with the second kind of iteration of the unit.
Work time has begun.
Get the unit out. Two unit, and then let's get this up. This is just something I 3D printed quickly. Make sure that it don't scratch anything here. It's literally just to get this nut off. Keep that safe. Actually, let's put all the gold pieces on one side. I want to do all the red pieces on the other. Just keep them separated. We can take our frame off, and then we're going to need to get these screws. So
a few moments later.
Got the right bit. These are Phillips screws. I would have preferred if these were hex. It would have been a little bit better. I don't know. I hate Phillips screws. Still better than flats. So don't forget, never lose this. This is the nub for the Hopup unit. It's quite easily lost, but we're going to keep it on the one side. So here you go. This is the newer version Hopup. Now we can get the red one stripped apart. We can get our engine out. This is the Pulsar conversion kit that I built, and you can check out the video. It's on my channel, and I've got the files for the adapter here on MakerWorld. Get the screws out quickly. Again, make sure we don't lose the nub, and then we can get the Hopup unit out. Tight the index of the barrel. There we go. And then already you can see a big difference between the two Hopup units. You'll see here, this is the Generation 1 and this is the Generation 2. So let's get into the first difference here, and that is the way that the barrel is being held in place and locks in. This is a far better method. This is the old one. It kind of has a C-clip, so it's got a little clip. Let's pop it out. So you can see here, this one is the C-clip. It locks into the barrel. I'll pull the barrel out. I'll show you in full. So let's look at the old one first. You can see here you've got this. This locks around the barrel. This was a little bit annoying to use because I had to sand it a little bit to make it fit very snugly on my barrel. It depends what barrel you buy. It might be too big, which means you're going to have a little bit more play. So mine is fairly solid in here, but it's still not optimal. So in theory, if you look at any like AEG or HPA or like Hopup unit, you're going to usually have like a C-clamp, something like this that locks into the barrel. AG barrels have these little cuts inside them, and this will lock in like this. But you can see there is still quite a fair amount of wiggle room in here, which means that when you're putting it together, you need to be super precise. Usually have this little guide at the bottom, but you can still get it slightly misaligned. And if you put it in, you can see there, it's very hard to see in there, but it will go in like that, and then you would literally just push this in and it will clamp around the barrel. And you can see here how much wiggle room we have, and if you push it in, this is going to be a little bit better. It's going to be tighter, so this does still have a tiny bit of wiggle room, but it fits snug. But it all depends on your barrel. Like I said, my barrel was a bit thicker from the diameter, so I could sand away a little bit on this 3D printed part and make it fit. The other part of the Hopup units that's also been improved, and I'll show it on the gold one in a bit, on the new version, is the back. So you have these inserts. Let me see if I can get it out. I don't think I can get it out. But basically you have this insert here in the back and the engine will fit in it. And that makes sure that there's no movement for the engine. So when it locks into the gearbox, onto the upper, what's going to happen is this is going to be locked in, and then this you're going to lock in with the back screw. But on the newer version of the Hopup unit, it's a lot better. They have now gone for this, which is a clamping kind of feed neck.
What the f*** is that?
And that one will lock on a lot better. So you have way more adjustability, no need for different inserts anymore. You literally just have one size, or well, not one size, you have one Hopup unit, and you can see here it's too loose. So all you got to do is tighten it down.
A few moments later.
Slowly start tightening it, and you'll see this will start clamping down. So now you'll see on here, it's now tight. Like this is not going to wobble. This is not going to move. This is nice and snug. That's for the Pulsar H. Let's see if it's going to fit the... Yep, fits the Fusion perfectly. There's no wobble whatsoever. There's now a new and improved way of locking in the barrel. So let's just open this. Once again, being a bit careful. Don't want to scratch it. I don't want to scratch Hopup unit. It just looks shit.
Don't be stupid. Stupid?
So let's get that out. And you can see here we have a little screw here. So a grub screw. And we're going to open that up. The camera focuses on it. There is a slight point here, and there's a very good reason why we have a sharp point at the end of the grub screw and not flat. And I'll show you now once we get this out. So this is the barrel, and we have here the locking color. So it's a brass locking color. So it's got a flat key cut here, and that's gonna go in, and it lines up in the Hopup unit over there. So it has been keyed. So there's pretty much only one way to kind of have that, and that's to make sure that everything lines up a little bit better. Let's get it put back together, and I'll show you why that screw is so important. So we have this kind of groove here, this alignment groove. You'll see it a little bit better on this barrel. And what's going to happen now is when we put this into our Hopup unit, we have this little hole where the grub screw is going to screw in, and you can already see, we can see this groove here that's been cut into the barrel, and we need that for alignment. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in our barrel, and we can see the alignment. We're going to push it all the way back, and now we can take our grub screw with the point, and this is going to lock into that groove. This is a far superior way of doing it. There's much better, definitely way better than any Hopup unit that's on the market for AEGs and for HPA guns at the moment. So I'm not going to tighten it all the way. It's just so that it is in place, and then now we're going to push our brass color back in, and we're going to get it to line up with that key. There we go, it's nicely lined up. You can see our barrel is fairly centered, and then we can put this in. And now when we tighten this on, what it's going to do is that cone shape of that brass is going to push together and close that gap that's going to like tightly hug the barrel, making sure that it doesn't move. So we can put this down, do little adjustments, then we're going to take here our hex key again, our Allen key, and we're going to tighten this down to lock the barrel a little bit tighter. So now that it's all aligned, we can add pressure here and tighten it up, so that's nice and tight. We don't need that right now. And then now we can do the final tightening here. There we go. And that's nice and tight. So that's the new Hopup units. There we have it. That is the upgrades for the Hopup unit. The biggest changes that they made there. I think it is well worth it.
Yeah, boy.
I think there's a brilliant platform. I think the upgrades to the Hopup unit is a huge improvement, definitely more innovative than any Hopup unit on the market. Not just because you can have the over and under hop, just the way that it mounts and holds the barrel perfectly and aligns it perfectly in place. I think there's no other Hopup unit that really does it that well. But yeah, I'm super excited to see what the guys are going to do in the future with this platform.
Future's now, old man.
And yeah, that's about it for this video, and I will check you guys in the next one.